Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to a brand new review. Today I'm discussing one of the worst films ever made. And then tomorrow, I'll be discussing one of the worst sequels ever made. So let's get into it. I'm talking about 50 Shades of Grey, of course, leading up to 50 Shades Freed. Yes, the third final fucking installment of this horrible franchise. Or trilogy, whatever. I can't believe this is getting... I can't believe this is going to be a trilogy, but for instance, we are not getting a trilogy of The Nice Guys. We're not that we have never even gotten a sequel of Man of Steel. Like, what the hell? But we've gotten a sequel of fucking 50 Shades of Grey. This is my type of stuff that is wrong with Hollywood. Let's get into this review. Let's just get into it. The film's horrible. If you haven't seen it yet, you don't need to see it. This film's horrible. And, you know, I saw it a couple months after the film had come out. I said, screw it. And just so you guys know, these are not my copies of this film. I would never own this film. I never want to own this film. And I have no fucking interest in ever owning this film. But the thing is about 50 Shades of Grey is I remember when it was going into theaters, the big thing was, oh my god, it's going to be so raunchy. It's going to be so sexual in the theater. We're going to get actual porn in the theater. And it's not. Like, you can literally go to Pornhub and find better stuff to get off to than this shit. And the other thing about Pornhub, too, is it also has probably most of the actors and actresses do a more decent job. The dialogue is cheesy, but they're going with the cheese with it, and the performances are most of the time better. It's wooden or stale or stiff. And that's really only going towards one of the main actors, Jamie Dornan, who I've seen to be an exceptional actor, but he does not rise above the horrible dialogue in here. But the girl who's playing Anastasia Steele, Dakota Johnson, yes, her name is Anastasia Steele. That does sound like a porn name. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a porn star with that name. But Dakota Johnson, she's a very exceptional actress, and she rises above this horrible dialogue in here and actually gives a fairly good performance. So that's a pro I can give to this film, right? I can also say the direction in here, I do like the director who directs this film. She's done some pretty good films, but she doesn't really do anything with the script. I mean, I don't even think Steven Spielberg could come in and actually touch up the movie in any way. I think he would just throw away the script and say it's not worth doing. It's not worth making this film. She does give a visual flair to it that does fit the film, so I guess I can give it a pro on that. Again, like I said, you can find better on Pornhub. You can find better on the internet. You can find better in fan films. Like, the fact that this is based off a Twilight fan fiction does not give it any more justice, because Twilight is not one of the best books ever made. It's actually one of the worst. And going from there, it's like you make it off a book, but Twilight is better than this. It's more intriguing than this, and I shouldn't be saying that, because sex should be a priority over vampires and werewolves, but in reality, werewolves and vampires in movies are probably more interesting than this film will ever be, because the sex scenes in here are boring and dull and not even intriguing. Like I said, you can find better on Pornhub, and I get it. You can't do everything that Pornhub has on its thing, because you have to sell this movie. You can't make it NC-17. You gotta make it rated R. But to a certain level, I've seen worse in, say, Game of Thrones. I've seen worse in, like, 300. 300 has more sexualized scenes than this film does. And yes, I get it. He has a whip. He has a thing. He has all this. He's hitting her with the leather. All this type of shit. But the thing is with that is it doesn't matter. It doesn't go anything to the story. Something that I could say with this film is that I get it. I should just be getting what it is. But the thing is, the film that I'm going into, you're going to this film for the really good sex scenes, apparently. You're going in for an intriguing psychological kind of thing that you can look into Christian Grey's story on. Why is he like this? What made him like this? And there is a backstory to that in the film, but they don't touch on it at all. They just sidewind it and go into this whole film is about a couple dating and fucking. That's really it. And that's something that I could say is wrong with the film. Like, if you would have focused more on that in the psychological aspect, I could have bumped this film up a bit. I really could have. I'm trying to find pros in here in ways that you could have made this film better, but in no way, shape, or form is this film good. And in the end, Anastasia gives no reference to why she wants this, why she keeps coming back to Christian Grey, and by the end of the film, you're kind of like, I just wasted my life. I mean, I really just wasted my time, and I wasted my time. Not really wasting my time. I got some enjoyable, and I'm going to be loving your guys' comments down below talking about 50 Shades of Grey. But the film's bad. That's all it is. It's a horribly made film. It's shit. It's dog shit. You can find better on porn, on Google, and everything other than that matter than this film. And it's all free. That's the better thing. You don't have to pay to see this film. And I get it. You can legally watch this film, but there's no point in watching it. It's boring. It's overly way too fucking long. It's way too long. 2 hours and 5 minutes is a joke for this film. The sex scenes are not they're stale. The chemistry between the cast is wooden as shit. I do not believe them at all. Anastasia Steele, Dakota Johnson does give a good performance. The director has a good visual flair to it, but besides that, 50 Shades of Grey is absolutely a big pile of fucking F. Film's bullshit to all manner. The fact that this film is made over some other films is absolutely bullshit. But please, guys, comment down below and tell me, do you like this film? Do you not? I'd be surprised if any of you guys did, but if you did, I know there are people who enjoy these films. I don't know how, but I know there are people who do, so please comment down below if you do. If you don't, let's have a lively discussion down below. Of course, guys, look out for my review of 50 Shades Darker tomorrow, and of course 50 Shades Freed later this week, and a ranking video of all 3 films, but I won't be doing the ranking. A good friend of mine will, and I can't wait for you guys to see that. Thank you guys, of course, for all the support. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe, especially if you're new, and go down to Sandwich John Films down below where you guys can find some advanced screenings, movie news, and movie reviews all down there, and you guys can find some great stuff down there, so make sure to go check us out. And of course, right after that, you can go right over to the next tab and go over to Pornhub and get yourself a better climax than this film will ever have. Of course, stay classy, everyone.